you get your automation, you get your pictures, and you start making the place your own. We have a website specifically, duskview.city, where people can go online. They can type in the names of their personnel. They can throw some images in, and we've got some more features in the pipeline that I think you would have to talk about, but not sure where we're at yet, but it's coming.
Welcome to Metaverse Degen. I'm Lion.
I'm Old Man Raptor, and we have 3 guests today on this situation, and they are, and we'll start from the left and go to the right. They are... Okay, people don't know their left from the right. We're doing great. We're doing great. We're doing great. This is great. Yeah.
Our left.
Okay, when you face somebody, it'd be your guys' left, okay?
You're first.
Oh my God, left to right.
You first.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
alrighty. So, hi, everybody. I'm Riney. I'm a programmer here at the Sunset Bar.
Hi guys, I'm Lee. If you can see it in the Sunset Bar, I've probably 3D modeled it, except for that pool table over there. I will never, ever make a pool table like that. No.
And hello, everybody. You've seen me twice on this channel before already. I am a returning candidate for this. I'm VRChat. For the Sunset Bar, I am the networker and a district agent and a senior staff. So, hello.
Hello.
But he's not the mop person to clean up the floors.
Oh, well, let's just get this started.
Apparently, I'm the person who cleans up the floors.
Oh.
No, I make the mess.
Allegedly.
Oh, God.
So, what got you guys into VRChat and what started the Sunset Bar?
Oh my goodness. That is a long story. That is... VRChat was an escape. I know a lot of people will tell you that VRChat is their escape. My story is no different, except I was escaping... Once upon a time, I used to run servers for a game called SCP Secret Laboratory. Those are no longer on the internet. I do not run those servers anymore. It became too much effort for... it was a labor of love, and I didn't have any love for it anymore. But I had a friend who I met along the way, and long story short, I came to acquire their Oculus Rift CV1, and what other game to go into virtual reality with than with your Oculus Rift CV1 other than VRChat? So in 2018, I started my journey, and it was an escape at the time. I didn't like what I was doing. I didn't like my job. I didn't like my life. There were a lot of factors, but I found VRChat, and I wanted to use it to meet people, talk to people, even if every instance of the pug was being just things getting thrown around and whatever. You know, I'd find my break, hopefully, and I did. I got adopted into a friend group, and I was the little visitor that nobody knew, but I was adult enough to be a part of their group, so admiration. Oh my God, I made friends. So cool. And I don't know any of those people these days. They're all gone. So,
he got so wild. Oh, wow, this guy's getting into this. And all of a sudden, well, those SOBs just packed up their shit and just going, I'll talk to you later. Have a good one. And yeah, I got you. Okay. Wow.
Anyways, that was my first try in VRChat. It wasn't super. Like, I know a lot of people that will get that first taste of VRChat, and they won't find somebody that they click with, at least one person, and it turns them off from the game entirely. So I got lucky, I guess. For a time, and then I quit. I was like, they all disappeared. I don't really have any business being there. Whatever. Kind of just put the Oculus Rift away, called it a night. 2 months later, I'm like, I'll try it again. So it was like July or August 2018. Second try. I brought Riney in that time, even though Riney was just a deskie. And we got started again. We found ourselves in various corners of VRChat at the time, like drinking night and obviously the pug,
Lots of
murder
too.
2, lots of murder 2. So, but VRChat evolved. We got the introduction of the quests. We got obviously the Black Cat came to be the de facto leader because hey, this map is quest compatible. Quest joins Black Cat. Suddenly Black Cat is where everybody's hanging out. And for a while I was no different. I started getting to know people, which was great. I had a lot of Australian friends back in the day. They were my rock.
Very funny story about that too.
And obviously me and Riney, like we were connected to the hip, so we were just kind of always going to the same places, meeting the same people. Is what it is. And thankfully, that second time, back in 2018, I still know the majority of those people, unlike the previous group. I wish I could tell you where they all went, but I don't know. So, it is what it is.
Yep, oblivion.
My story is a lot shorter and sweeter. Fluffy.
Yeah. But I mean,
got a quest.
Yeah.
Played VR
for it.
chat.
Played VRChat. Met people. I didn't get the T-shirt, but I would have gotten it if it was available at the time. And a stupid little mug, or something. I'm not plugging VRChat's merch, but it does exist. So I just plugged VRChat's merch.
Video game avatars. I wasn't really ready to embrace the whole digital everything here, and I mean, I turned out all right. I think you either go one of like 4 routes, and I picked booth. So yeah, my story. We have been conjoined to the hip, especially in VRChat. If I look at VRCX, top play time, it's obviously him, and it's not even close. Nobody's close to second. Like, yeah. So some of it's a lot of it's world testing, and that's where a good portion of our VRChat story actually has always existed, is just trying to make our own world. I've always wanted to make worlds, but they need to have a gimmick. There's not going to be just, oh, look at the pretty sights, and then you're done. I want something that people want to keep coming back for, so I tried making games. We did have one out for a while, which was Yahtzee, but we got really, really, really involved in just trying to figure things out. And I'm lucky he's a 3D modeler, because I can't figure that out to save my life. And then his programming,
and
it ain't it.
Vice versa. I'm thankful that Riney can program, because otherwise I could bring this place to look to life, but as for functionality, no. I can't hold a candle to Riney's ability, so.
Ooh.
I was trying to hand tracking, whatever. But yeah,
That worked.
And then Sunset.
Oh.
I believe Sunset was, or actually Firecat. Yeah. Oh. Well, you're here too, aren't you? You want to say a few?
Well, David, people have already heard my story. People know why I did. But I mean, if you want me to say it again, I can.
Firecat. He's a cat. Okay.
Yeah. But no, I'll go ahead.
Right now, he's just sitting on the bar like I am.
Cat.
No, so I will go ahead and just go ahead and do it again, because I mean, it's been how long since I've been on you guys' channel? Quite a while now, if I think about it.
Yeah, it's been a
Get
bit.
your feet up on the bar. Unbelievable.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Worried about
sure.
etiquette
Thanks.
At least
But
you can
yeah,
scrape
pretty
away.
much. Again, I'll go ahead and recap basically what I said last time. Basically, the way I started VRChat, oh my god, it was back before COVID, and that was when I initially started, because I had an Oculus Rift S, which was a phenomenal headset, especially when you want to play like games on the go for VR. Because if you have a gaming laptop, you got the Rift S, and cool, you can just take it wherever and play VR anywhere. That was my quest, but I had the advantage of PC VR. But pretty much my first time actually joining into VRChat, it wasn't the greatest. I ended up joining the Black Cat as my first world. Not a good idea.
You poor soul.
Not a good idea. Yeah. So I took a hiatus afterward, and I pretty much just went and oblivion. I came back after like a couple of years. This was like, now we're talking fast forward a couple of years. Things look so different because now the actual banners everyone has a gray bar, and you actually can read the text a bit better. It's not some outline of what your trust rank is. But pretty much I then got myself into Project Eincrad, and I met VR Voicesmith, also formerly known as Snoop Bong. And so basically I ended up getting involved with that. It was a lot of drama, and I eventually just said, the hell with this, I'm just going to go. And I eventually got into quantum networks. From there, I got introduced to Lingie's and Riney's World a year ago. And Lingie has confirmed that my bar was the 4th bar to officially open its doors as a Patreon bar in the Sunset. And it's the 4th one. So I was like super, surprised to find out that I've been with you guys for this long. I mean,
for reference,
I can't beat. Yeah, I can't beat Zuki's
we have over we have over 650 bars by my last count, and the Patreon has been open for less days, like not even half of those days. So that's like 2 bars a day that are being created. And that's just the Patreon side of things. We know that there's a lot of bars that open also just because Sunset does not require you to pay the Patreon to open a bar. My recommendation would be you should get VRChat Plus to form a group so that you have a banner, that you have permission, you can run a group public. I kind of don't like doing that because it's like, well, guess what? If you want good moderation features in your world, they're paywalled, and I hope VRChat knows this, and I hope that they make a group free option one of these days. But until that time, of course, I had riney develop features for security for Sunset so that you can jail people, you can kick people out, things like that. But my tangent aside,
it's not perfect, but it works.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's several.
It is
sections I
by
wanna
far.
rewrite.
Oh yeah.
I'm a better.
I mean,
programmer
but then we get
today
to Sunset
because of the code I did yesterday.
So we get to
Ryan.
Sunset now. And Sunset.
ADHD brain. Hey, you steal my thunder.
Yes. Did you still have more to go, Firecat? I'm sorry.
I did. I still have
go,
more.
Go. You got this. You got
But
this.
yeah, pretty much what it is. As soon as I actually joined it, and I opened up my bar, which formerly the Blue Rose Garden was actually a guild in Eincrad. I just said I got done with the freaking drama from Project Eincrad, so I brought it over to the Sunset Bar, and I opened its doors for the very first time. And I have been a very long time bar as far as I can remember, and my bar has reached its 1-year anniversary as of this year, and actually as of this month, actually. And so basically, after like 4 to 5 months of my doors being open as the Blue Rose Garden, I finally said, hey, I heard that Lingie was opening up his application, so I decided, all right, let me join on. I eventually joined on as what was formerly called the Community Ambassadors, which is now rebranded as the District Agents. And they are basically the frontal of the Sunset staff team. We're the ones that actually everyone sees inside of instances and stuff like that now.
I would iterate that whereas, a lot of people are like, oh man, is Lingie snooping around our instances? Is Lingie looking to police us? Oh my god. No. The DAs, not to be confused with the district attorney, but the district agents, because everything has to be synthwavy, cyberpunky themed, this facet of our staff team are, as Firecat was saying, are public faces. Now, everybody in the staff team can be a public face, but these are people that will go around to the different bar groups, get a feel for them, understand, what makes them tick, report back, and we use that information to sort of build a portfolio and say, hey, would this bar be a good group to collaborate with? Does this bar fit our needs? Is this bar okay to collaborate with? Things like that. There's also the Dusk View Association of Bars.
Yep.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, that's
because
where...
we can provide valuable feedback for anybody that may be struggling along the way.
Oh, yeah.
Or if they're doing something that isn't aligned with the VRChat's terms of service. I am not the fun police. However, I will tell people what you're doing is either gray or absolutely not something that VRChat's terms of service allows. You should not be doing this in a public world. Please refrain from doing that. Carry on. Do your thing. So, if people are doing things responsibly, I'm not super worried. I know that, honestly, as of these days, the usual instance policy is if everybody in an instance is okay with something, then there really isn't a problem. And that's kind of that. So, but do we get to sunset now?
Yeah. I mean, I would recommend let's start with the progression.
I will tell the story of why the Sunset Bar came to be. So, obviously,
Riney and I... It's going to be a good one.
Yeah,
Twas the night before
Christmas.
Yes.
Wait a minute, Line.
We're doing this. Okay.
Have you noticed
we are doing this on December 22nd. So literally almost how many days until Christmas? Okay, I fell off the bar.
3.
Like in true cat fashion, Firecat pushed himself off the bar counter.
Yep. So we are doing this on the 22nd as of the recording. So literally Christmas is right around the corner.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So
yeah,
we have the story of Sunset. This is not. It's not a sad story. It's not a tragic story. It's a real story. I'll put it that way. So
it's about to get personal,
obviously,
from my understanding.
A little bit. Riney and I, we've obviously been veteran, at least with the idea of trying to create projects.
You two are twins.
However, yes, but we're obviously veteran, like in the concepts of world development. Riney knows enough about Udon to code a world. I know enough Blender knowledge to be able to build something that looks visually appealing. However, didn't really have anything breakout yet. We had our Yahtzee world, which back in December of 2023, it had roughly, I think it was 29,000 visits, give or take. These numbers will be relevant in a bit. However, 2023, I'm one of my longest time friends now, Dacon, introduces me to a world, brings the whole friend group there. We go to the Midnight Bar, and I'm told, no, Lingie, sit down. Other people are bartending. You can order drinks, and we had some of the friend group in the back using Midnight Bar's features to make drinks. For those uninitiated, this world is based off the popular game on Steam, Valhalla. I loved the aesthetic. I loved the atmosphere. I enjoyed the music. I enjoyed everything about the world. I still enjoy the world. For anybody out there who thinks, oh, Lee made Sunset because he hates Midnight Bar. No, that is not the case. However, I want my own taste of it. I want to try my hand or my paws, whichever you want, whichever you got. So the next day I open up a public instance for myself and I bartend for random people. And I love it. I enjoyed the heck out of myself, and it became my new public spot to go to. I got a little tired of, playing Murder 4 and prison escape every day. You know, I needed a new outlet, and I felt like this would be a good opportunity to maybe meet more adult people. I suppose it's a bar. Bar themes usually will bring adults. I know they bring kids too. I was 13 years old. And I was doing like bar and tavern role plays back in text and like forums and stuff. So, you know, I'm no stranger to that. But I start sort of padding my own little group. This is where the story begins. So I had decided I'm going to try like freehanding a little bar myself in Unity. And I opened that project literally after going to the Midnight Bar. But I did not work on it. I get told a week before Midnight Bar's Patreon comes out, Lingie, you're going to want to get on this because I know how much time you spend in there. If you spend the for the low tier, you can then bartend in any instance you go to. My friend, who apparently really is good friends with the creator of the Midnight Bar, JML, I look at them and I tell them, you need to go there and tell them, do not do this. Because you are going to get people who are going to use this to manipulate good instances. It will stifle good role play. It will hurt people who are genuinely just trying to do it themselves. And you're going to have people abuse other people using the system. I was told people are not going to spend their money to do that kind of thing. You're crazy, Lingie. Whatever. Fast forward 2 weeks later. The Patreon has been out for a week. I get a guy come into my instance. Comes right behind the bar. So at first I'm like, do I say something? What do I do? Guy straight up looks at me and then just sort of turns to the bar machine and starts making his own drink, and then starts making drinks just randomly and handing them out to people. So I'd been there for about 4 or 5 hours that night, and I always did solo things. This was well before they had a security system there. This is well before there were any features to protect instance masters from like losing permissions or other people promoting other people. Way back. So this is now the Wild West. And I tell the guy, hey, I really appreciate that you're supporting the creator. I wish I was in a position that I felt comfortable enough to do the same myself. For reference, I was working as an insider at Papa John's at the time. I was the person who was cutting and boxing your pizzas. So, humble roots. I tell the person, there are plenty of other instances, plenty of public instances. If you want to bartend for somebody, I'm sure you can find another place, but this is my instance. And respectfully, can I get you to either get out from behind the counter or to a different instance? Guy straight up looks at me and says, fuck you, it's my bar now. Runs into the back, promotes every single person in the instance to bartender, comes back out, looks me in the eye, fuck you, it's my bar now. Completely ruined my evening. So at that time, the magic was lost. I lost it all from one person. And I was spending my days off, I was spending in Midnight Bar 8 to 10 hours a day sometimes. And I quit cold turkey. Everything that I revered about the place, I couldn't feel it anymore because of that one experience. So, and let me reiterate as well, I have nothing but respect for Midnight Bar. I think Midnight Bar is an excellent place. I think in terms of like it being a welcoming like homage to what Valhalla is on Steam, I think it's excellent. I think nothing but good. But people can ruin experiences for you. So that's how we get now to Sunset. Instead of spending all my time at Midnight, now I'm spending all my time in Blender and Unity because I can get my mind on nothing else. I'm not enjoying the games I'm playing. I'm not enjoying my time at work, obviously. The only outlet that I have is that I have to show the world that I can create the place that I know people are not going to feel like they were taken advantage of like I was. So my initial checklist is like, and I didn't even show Riney the world until much later, and then I wowed Riney with, hey, there's a bar, some tables. It was pretty much just this room. And Riney's like, oh wow, you're working on something. And I'm like, yes, I am. And I look at Riney and I'm like, I need a...
Sorry, Lingy. As I did mention, the early development is over there on that board.
Yes. But I tell Riney, I need the place to look distinctive and unique. I need the drink machine not to be a clone, because that's not how I operate. I want to make our own content, our own system, and let me tell you, the version 1 of that drink machine was hot garbage, and I'm glad Riney told me that. This is the version 2.
Yes. Yes. I remember version 1. That was terrible.
It was hot garbage. But
it was really bad.
Regardless of that point, we were developing something new, something fresh, something that looked, felt, and operated distinctly than other bar experiences in VRChat. So it was not your core worlds from the past. You know, it was not a great pug or a black cat where you could just pick up an item and just throw it at people. It wasn't Bar Hein where you were physically pouring drinks, and it wasn't Midnight Bar where you were using the Valhalla system to create drinks and then hand them out. We needed something different. So the Bartender 9001 was created. That is the name of the machine internally.
It's actually named?
It's actually named.
When were you going to tell me this?
It is in fact a digit above 9,000.
It does? Oh my god.
It does.
Alrighty then.
Yeah. For all my friends out there,
learned something new.
RTFM. It literally says it. If you're promoted to bartender, not the instance creator, because we've botched that for as long as I can remember. The helpful guides that appear in the back room, one of them has a little subtext that says it is the bartender 9K1.
There's text back there? Oh my!
There
you know,
is.
it's probably because I've been the instance creator every single time that I've never seen it.
Yup.
Oh.
All of that stuff is going to be moved downstairs when we finish the training bar and all that downstairs.
Okay, that's all right.
And that will all work
cool.
properly. I promise.
That's going to be available
Riney
for
said,
everyone to see.
They're a better udon coder. I've learned new things through Blender along the journey, etc., etc. But okay, so Sunset is becoming a thing, I suppose. It is August 2023. We launched the map into community labs. And me and Riney, we have a lot of friends that are interested in all the world projects we've worked on, so it doesn't take long for it to get out. I think it was 25 hours. Not our fastest, but I'll take it.
Great art takes time.
It did. When we launched Sunset, it was this room. And it was the front door leading to the ramp, leading up to the street. That was it. It was ugly. It didn't have much going for it, but this room was complete, and we had a drink machine that worked 95% of the time. There were some weird oddities that Riney would catch as the 2023 months rolled out, and now it's kind of a 99.8%. But udon code be messy, and sometimes synchronizations fail and scripts break and yeehaw.
And client users don't help either. So there will never be a true 100%. Yeah, there will never be a true 100% with Udon. As long as Udon has its vulnerabilities, there will never be a 100%. We can always get close, but never succeed it.
We're getting closer. I think we are genuinely getting closer. So Riney is rolling out new tech, and there's a lot of good ideas in there. So. But okay, back to 2023. I didn't have much expectation for the world, but I was headstrong about it. I thought to myself, hey, we're bringing people in here. We're meeting some people. And sure enough, we were seeing like maybe 100 to 200 people in here daily. We use vrcw.net as a reference to track world statistics, and we would check it probably twice daily to see, hey, how is that going? How many users have come in? And we get to October, we have a Halloween party, and we've got some of the photos back in the memory vault here from that. Biggest night. We had what, 50 people in that instance?
It was a lot.
By that time, I
And
had
all friends of
actually, indeed, I had opened up this doorway here, which on launch there was no doorway here. It was a brick wall. After post launch, it became a pool table room because every good world has a pool table, right? After that, I start designing something, and Riney's like, "Hey, be special, like unique, and make it like a 45-degree angle or something, and just to hell with 90-degree corners and conventions. Get rid of that." So I create this nice little like angled area, and then we open up the club area. But it's not really the club area yet. It's just sort of like a sunken lounge. There's some couches. There's a pool table, and we're identifying like this as an area that people would like bring their drinks and chill out. It's like that nice sunken like smokers lounge or something. But it doesn't stay that for very long, because then we start garnering the attention of some of the music communities and some of the DJ communities, and indeed, they wanted to see Sunset grow in functionality for the DJ scene, and I'm not very familiar with the music scene. I can't like lie on that. Obviously, I wish I knew more, but with the limited knowledge I knew, yeah, I start putting together something, and we make the DJ area back there, and it's okay. Like it works all right. It's a nice area that people can come out and hang out and shake butts and do whatever, right? And we get more attention.
I will have to agree, it's a nice area, but it's sad to see it go to waste because it doesn't get used very often.
It is so dusty. And to everybody out there, I am so sorry. We will get there.
Future plan. I mean, as it is late now, with continuing on the topic of the clubbing community, basically, as everyone on this channel already has heard from, basically Quantum Networks, it's one of the communities that Sunset now collabs with, and they have their deck here, and it's proudly displayed right there for everyone to use. And so a lot of clubbing communities now I've noticed from my experience, they use out here because this is where everyone is. Even though there is a proper designated area, the original roots hold. And this room was the first and still maintains to be the most popular in Sunset.
Now, we do have a candidate for top contender, and that would be the roof. And as time goes on, each sector of Sunset will be as usable in our design ethos as this room. We're hoping that you'll have the granular stage permissions, you'll have a solid bar to order drinks from, you'll have a stage for singing or karaoke or putting on performances, etc., etc. But back to 2023 again. November's a good month. Riney decides, you know what? I'm gonna push you, Lingie. I'm gonna get the Patreon started. We're gonna offer some features. We're gonna get people into this thing. And at the very end of the month, the moment that I knew everything it was gonna happen. I know who Patient Zero is. Let me just put it that way. So I am very familiar with the bar scenes that were popular around my days at midnight. I knew the names of people. I knew who they were.
Hmm.
And one day, as I'm told, a guy by the name of Jojo HMD, who is one of the top staff ever at the bar Sidebar, comes here, drunk as a skunk, thinks he's at Midnight Bar. And has to let everybody know Midnight Bar just got updated and it looks crazy. So he invites every single other bar owner and like person he knows into an instance of Sunset.
That's an interesting start.
I'm already sitting in a private instance of Sunset myself, but then I get spammed with so many friend invites from so many people that I know, okay? And it's making me tear up again. I'm so sorry, but
It's a memorable moment. It's good to have happy moments like that, especially since your world at that moment thrived. It popped, and it's a world creator's greatest moment when their world finally pops off and it gets recognized. It is a phenomenal moment. I know how it feels because I was proud of my world, but it never popped. But I was still proud of my work. And when it pops off, it's all the better because that flood of emotion, knowing that it's being recognized by not just people that you know, but as people that you don't know too.
Yes. And when I I started accepting those friend invites, and then every one of them started trying to invite me, so I go in, and it was at that moment that I realized I just got noticed by the right people. I can't screw this up. Because this is I'm about to win the VRChat lottery here. Like I need to put on my best my best outfit, my best look. That I can't screw this up.
Your best attire.
I go in there, head held high, and I introduce myself, and everybody has so many questions. How long has this bar existed? You know, why are people going to midnight and not here? Like, what's going on? And I have to tell everybody, you know, we've been open for business for about 2 months, and you know, feedback is helpful. And we'd love to have you if you're interested. At that time, there was one stipulation that I was told, and it was improve the security, and people will give this place a try. And they did. And
yeah, Zuki's Monster Bar. They were heavily waiting for that feature.
When we were in December of 2023, I looked at Riney and I was like, you know, it would be so cool if because we're getting a lot of people in here. Wouldn't it be cool if we got more numbers, more visits than the old Yahtzee world? So we're like, all right, yeah, how about 30,000 visitors by the end of the year? It sounds crazy, but coming out of November, we had already hit 10K, which to me that was phenomenal. But it was in the air. Who knew? It was December 20th, 2023. We had our first 1K visitor day. I was baffled. Because then, as the days moved on to Christmas, it got slow on Christmas, but then every day after that, it was 1,500, 1,600, 2,000, 3,000. We were looking at the numbers. And instead of hitting that 30K goal, we tripled it at the end of the year. We had 90,000 visitors.
You know, I also want to congratulate you guys right now because as of today, from when Lion just checked, we are at 9 million visitors.
Yes. So 100 times that. That's. I mean, it'd be cool. It could happen. It could, but
it's probably not.
It's probably not. No, it'll happen in January. But January comes around, and Riney and I are debating, like, you know, is Sunset our full-time job now? Is this our lives? The Patreon numbers, like, at the start of January, we were like making a modest like $900 on Patreon. And
I was gonna say, prior to that, I mean, didn't Riney almost go broke?
I mean, we shared the same finances IRL, so
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
but
I
mean,
remember
yeah,
you
we were-
mentioning during one of the
we were
staff
alright.
meetings when you were talking about the history of it, where you guys were about to apply for food stamps, if I'm not mistaken.
oh no, we wouldn't be able
'Cause-
to apply for.
I mean, it was more so the fact I just recalling from what I heard in one of the meetings, because I was hearing a little bit about the history in one of our meetings, and it was definitely one of those situations where it just captivated me.
We were losing hours at work. I'll tell you that much. We got dropped to 4 days a week. Riney was still doing delivery. I was stuck inside because my car broke down, and I couldn't get it fixed, and I wasn't about to go buy a new car. But in January, you know, I said to myself, you know, wouldn't it be funny if we somehow like tripled the numbers of before? Like, you know, I estimated 30,000. We hit 90,000. So what if we tripled again and we hit like 270 or 300,000 visitors by the end of January? Boy, howdy, was I wrong.
Oh yeah, by January,
I
what
am
we're at.
so happy to have been wrong. We tripled the triple again. So we ended January with like 900,000 visits. I didn't understand. I thought to myself, you know, who am I? I'm just some guy on the internet. Like, you know, I still suffer with imposter syndrome. I'm not gonna lie. I still think that everybody else around me is more important than me, and you know, my contributions are whatever. But I can't do that. I can't keep doing that, because if somebody looks up to me and I'm gonna keep giving them that, there. You know, there's nothing like looking up to your heroes and then being depressed. So no, I have to shelve that as best I can. So Sunset Bar, baby. And indeed, Riney and I, we quit our day jobs in January, and this has been our journey now. I have been able to live via the good graces of people's support on Patreon. And now I will say this, for people that think like content creation is an easy job, no. I switched from a 4-day-a-week job. I work 7 days a week, and I am at the whims of every single person. So but I wouldn't trade it for my life. I have lived and breathed VRChat for so many years, but to be able to give something back to the community, like I checked all of my boxes back in January. I'm a successful world creator. I have been noticed. More people know me than I know them. There was a time where I would meet every single person that was coming to our world, and I knew them, and they knew me. But the exponential curve appeared, and I could not meet every single person anymore. And that is a sad realization, because I wanted to know every single person that comes in Sunset. And I'd love to introduce them to myself. I'd love them to introduce themselves to me. I'd love to know everybody. That is impossible now. That is a weird and daunting thing that I never thought I'd ever experience. But it's a part of it now. I do my best to...
Welcome to the high life, my friend.
Yeah. I still do my best to go to every instance that I can, meet every new bar group that appears, because a new bar group appears every single day. And I don't mean 1, I mean 10. Like, there are so many people that want to do it right, do it better. Some succeed, some don't. But some of them just need a little bit of a push, and they'll go.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I mean, on
I've
an
met
average,
groups. I've
on
met
an
groups
average, I
that
see. Yeah, I see like on an average when I'm doing my usual patrols, because this is also my part-time or my full-time job pretty much. Because honestly, I have the ability where, I mean, I've been graced with the fact that my wife at IRL works, and she actually is perfectly okay with me doing this as a full-time job myself. And so on an average, when I'm going around doing my usual rounds, I usually see at most maybe on a minimum 15 bars a day. And it's not all just group publics. There's public ones out there too that they don't really know how to set up. So those are the ones I like poking my head into. And I've actually helped quite a few bars actually start up just because they didn't know what to do or what step to take. And even including our staff team that the DAs, we literally help with that number contributing and increasing as well, because we will reach out to the communities, and this also helps with the actual succession of the bars coming up and actually being created. And in the return, it goes full circle back to, I get so many comments that I really wish, and actually just today I had like 4 people say, I really wish I can meet Lingie and Riney because they are phenomenal creators, and I want to thank them in person. And these are some of the greatest moments that I've actually had the pleasure of actually being a part of with the Sunset team and DCN as a whole, because it's not going to be just Sunset in the future. We have visions for other types of styles in different communities that we wish to actually target.
Yes. So it's, if you look above our heads, well, not Riney's, but
not Riney's.
I introduced Duskview City Knights, which is the official group of Sunset. But it doesn't say the Sunset Bar official community. It says Duskview City Knights, and a lot of people will wonder, well, what's Duskview City? What is that? That is a headcanon that existed since I was 14 years old, a mighty 20 years ago. That I finally was able to use the name on a project. And of course, I love synthwave. I love the aesthetic. I love the neon lights, the city that is always dark. It's always raining. Just that
not right now.
vibe,
It's
that
snowing.
mood. Yeah, it's snowing right now, but
snow in the forecast.
It's Christmas. But yeah.
I mean, hell, even all the way down to the badges I designed for the entire staff team fits within the synthwave vibe. Because actually, hold on, let me pull it out real quick. Because I design and maintain all of the staff badges now, courtesy of permission from Lingie, and I gave it very much a synthwave feel, and that was kind of the whole push to actually kind of fit with the whole theme. I mean, we have a couple jokers within our staff team. Stupid me. No, that's their username, by the way. So they have a cardboard rusk, and they wanted me to make them a cardboard badge, and I'm like, you know what? Whatever.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. But yeah, no, I've honestly had an absolute blast and being a part of this staff team and actually knowing Lingie and Riney and becoming good friends with them, because honestly, it's been such a wonderful time. And honestly, I'm grateful, as I'm saying this as like a person, just myself. I'm grateful that I actually got this opportunity, because working for a community that literally started from bare bones nothing to blossoming to what it is today, and on top of that, having a direct hand in making the growth happen because of the events that I throw, the types of communities that I outreach to. That's why we have the networking positions, because they're not just limited to Sunset anymore. We will outreach to other communities in person to say, hey, would you like to do this, this, and this? And that's how we've had collabs with other bars. That's how we've had the DJing community. We've had like a total of 3 different communities already DJing in the Sunset Bar, being Quantum Networks, Reversal Studios, and I honestly forgot the other one because they only did it once. But yeah, no, it's been I have to thank you, man. It's been an absolute pleasure working with you.
I have to thank you too, because if it wasn't for you, yeah.
Thanks, guys.
It's his idea.
It is. It really is. Lingie is the head of this train.
He's the
Riney is right there.
The art team, everything.
Well, if it's train, I'm the conductor, I suppose. But
But listen,
DCN
you also have to give Riney credit too, because Riney literally built the framework of the programming. And so I always say that if Lingie's the head of the train, Riney is the conductor, because they're literally making the world function.
just to round it out there real quick, DCN, that it's a strange and weird dichotomy, because it is really hard to run an official group when you are developing like a world type that is designed to facilitate individual groups and their individualities. So we are not the biggest bar group, because DCN is not a bar group. It is a community where and again, for those uninitiated, VRChat has a music scene, VRChat has a clubbing scene, a dance scene, but it also has a bar scene, and there are a lot of bar groups out there. They've existed for a while. You've had people that have used Bar Hein, you've had people that have used the Midnight Bar, and you've got newer options too. Like, obviously, Sunset came to be in 2023. There's the Cursed Mafia Bar. There's Bar Black. So there are a lot of options out there, and each world has different things to offer and different things to choose from. I'd like to pride myself with the knowledge that, people have decided that we're their best option in a lot of cases. And I will never forget, like, the fact that people have given me my lifelong dream of trying to do something in video gaming, or at least this space, and being able to realize that as my job. Like I said earlier, I've checked all my boxes. And so through DCN and through our efforts in here, and then our future map ideas that we're going to be working on, I can give back to the community.
Which we need to hash out later, because there's some things that I mean, especially with the clubbing one, because as everyone already knows, I'm very heavily into the clubbing scene. If you actually seen videos prior with me,
Yes.
being the audio engineer for Quantum Networks. Yes, the clubbing scene is definitely the clubbing world that is going to be very much one that I'm going to be overseeing quite a lot, especially since it's my field. It's what I'm basically, this is the reason why I ended up into a senior position within Lingie's team, because having those connections, understanding that side of the community, and having those abilities that, as Lingie stated earlier, not having, it really helps with actually knowing what direction to take, what the actual clubbing community does, and how they lay out their worlds. And it will help once we actually start doing that. And on top of that, as from what I do understand, I think Riney was also working on the game world the other day.
Yeah, more details about that in the future. A little
future,
side
it's
project, if you will.
It's a little side project right now, but there could be more things to come. I mean, DCN is growing every day, and
Yes,
I have to say it's phenomenal with the direction that we take now. I had a thought, and it just bit me in the ass and flew away. Got it. But other than that, yeah, no, it's oh man, it's just amazing, and sometimes it's overwhelming to understand just how far and how much it's come. And I've seen Lingie get overwhelmed at times where it's like, okay, we need to be just emotional support now, because Lingie is like crying in full-blown happiness half the time. There was a time that actually, it's fun. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun on the team.
Oh yeah, we do.
So, tangents aside, Lion Raptor, I'm sorry that this has gone on this long.
It's A-okay.
This is
We
normal.
live for
But
it.
It's fine.
the story of Sunset.
This is normal.
Yeah.
So actually, let me just inform you right now. Anyone that's actually seen any of Metaverse Degen's videos, they can go for hours. This is not uncommon.
Fair enough.
No,
Fair
I
enough.
think the longest we had right now may be currently owned by Rob Roman's voice at 3 hours and 11-ish minutes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I came close, but no cigar.
Technically,
My goodness.
the next longest is Chris Connie at almost near 3
like I said,
hours.
I came close. See, I didn't hit the 3-hour mark, but I'm probably one of the few people that actually had to do multiple takes. So that in itself was already long enough.
Hey, give me some time. I'll give you a TED Talk.
Well, I do have another question for both of you here as well. With having the different bar groups in the system with Patreon and people able to put their own thing up here, how does that work and how does one get into it, may I ask, and how does that function within the world order for someone who wouldn't know?
Ever show your VR e-girl crush your new world, and she says it's small and underperforms, just like your dick? Well, don't worry. With us, the only size that matters is how big your shopping cart can be. At Hash Studios, we've got VRChat prefabs for any of your big world developer needs. Security cameras so you can spy on your enemies, megaphones so everyone can hear you flex across the map, and a passcode door to keep that bitch e-girl out. Buy our products for your needs today on Gumroad Booth, Jinxie Payhip, or your local drugstore. I think. Not responsible for broken hearts or broken frames.
Of course. Riney, do you wanna stab or shall I?
Yeah,
I can do
I've
it
got
too.
this one. Don't worry.
Go
All
for
right.
it.
So
They're gonna take over.
Yeah.
Oh, quit taking the goddamn seat, okay? There's only one spot. Gotcha.
we also got a Patreon. Is there any of the posters in here that's gonna say it?
Yes,
Probably
all of my
not.
bars loaded. My bar's loaded.
No. Not what I mean. Not what I mean. The Patreon.
Are you talking
The
about the
advertisements.
groups? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
just the
none of them are
advertisements.
loading right
So anyway,
now.
yeah. So we got the Patreon. And we offer tiers for VIPs, if you will, so they get access to the private rooms, colored name, that kind of stuff. And then you have your bar tiers, starting at $35. And what we are effectively doing is, instead of doing what most world creators actually, for all intents and purposes, all but like 3 at this point, will sell their worlds. They'll like custom make them and then sell them on like Booth or Gumroad or something like that, expecting the user to download it, put it into Unity, have some knowledge of maybe customizing it at least a little, being able to install the VRChat SDK, and then uploading it to their account. Ours is a little different. So much and I don't want to compare ourselves to a live service game, but that's kind of the model we're working with here. Instead
It
of
is.
having to maintain it, we maintain it. And more importantly, it's a popular world, so people are going to come to your instance. So because of our Patreon system, it's very appealing for people who play VRChat and just love this kind of environment. So the major thing that you get from it is automation. You're coming here every day. You don't want to keep giving your friends the same roles every day. You need them to be able to just come in, get to work, boom, you're good. Or, sometimes you're a little bit more casual than that. All good. But you get your automation, you get your pictures, and you start making the place your own. We have a website specifically, duskview.city, where people can go online. They can type in the names of their personnel. They can throw some images in, and we've got some more features in the pipeline that I think you would have to talk about, but not sure where
Yes.
we're at yet, but it's coming.
Mhm.
The website it's just brilliant because, like he said about working 7 days a week, all of it used to be manually handled by us through tickets in Discord.
Yeah,
That-
that was
that was
tedious and wait
agony.
times were. Oh, yeah. I can tell you because being one of the Patreons at that time, before I was Sunset staff, I would wait average of maybe, if I got lucky, a couple hours until I got a response. And at worst times, I would actually have to wait until a couple of days to get a response. And it was very, very much agony. And I'm so glad that it's a lot more automated now.
There was a period of
Yeah,
time where it was just me and Riney doing the ticket servicing, and some days we weren't around to do it. So
Yeah, fun fact, don't make a popular world and a community at the same time. It's a bit too much for... I mean, we're
Just two
effectively a
people.
hive mind, but yeah.
Serve the
If
hive.
we had just the community or just the world, probably would have been fine. But we dipped our pinky into both ponds, so here we are. we're lucky. I think we eventually got staff. We eventually got a ticket team. We eventually got to the point where people can just free flow ask and answer questions. The Discord's been cleaned up. Everything just like flows a lot better now. But oh my goodness,
it is a
the
well-oiled
original-
machine.
Yeah, before
Most
we
days.
we had to type
Most
in
days.
people. We had to type in the custom drinks for the custom drink menu in manually, and then more specifically, I had to do it because of the way I created a temporary solution before the website handled it. I eventually
that was
passed that knowledge
painful.
off to 2 people, who then started doing this. We were effectively. Yes, he was one of them. Thank you so much for that. I'm so sorry that you had to deal with all of that. Yeah, creating systems is fun, but to test it early on, I was like, all right, people, give me some drinks. And then I had 6 menus, and then I had 30 menus, and then by then staff was handling it, and I'm so grateful for them. But
Even then, they were
yeah.
still being swarmed because it was so much was coming in all at once that the labor versus the demand end up getting way out of balance. And
Yeah.
if it wasn't for Aries and his programming that website, oh my god.
Her programming.
Sorry,
Silly.
Aries. Sorry, Aries.
I can
didn't
hear them
mean that.
typing up a storm right now and removing your permissions.
Oh yeah, I can hear them pre-typing up a angry message as soon as this video comes out, and I can hear the typing
Same.
already now onto my DMs.
Got that timestamp
yeah.
already ready.
Yep.
But to tie up the Patreon bit, we've got 3 tiers, of course. You've got your basics with blue. You've got pink, which starts advertising you on all of these beautiful scrolling banners all around. And then we've got the orange tier, the $100 tier, the big one, the primo one, whatever name you want to call it. The enthusiast, yes, which then gives you kind of full customization. All of the advertisements can just be completely replaced with whatever artwork you want. You get 15 images on each. So you can have it scroll through a bunch of images, really wow your patrons and all that stuff. And we know people really love that. They get to customize the world without needing Unity experience. We sold
Not to mention
we sell
custom
automation.
drinks.
Yeah. Like no Unity experience required. We take care of it, and that's I would assume as we've been popular enough, it justifies the subscription cost. But on top of it all, we don't penalize for. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we're one of the only groups right now that is offering a self-service sort of solution for all of your Patreon uploads and stuff. A lot of the creators in VRChat either work straight through Patreon or through their Discord server, which we were no strangers to that ourselves for a while, but I think we reached like bar 90 somewhere in there, where it just became this daunting task. If I wake up, I have 15 tickets I have to service with image changes, personnel changes, drink changes. It became too much.
Terrible. We used to make
I could
people
not
fill
keep up
out
with the
Google
demand.
forms, and half the
was
time
to
they
keep
put
it
in the
clean.
wrong stuff. Yeah.
Yep. So we
I
got the
remember those
website
Google forms.
launched.
I still got the one for you gave me for the neon blue.
Yep. But we got the website launched, and instead of having have to go through a Google form and look for changes if people did it that way, or if they submitted a ticket and gave us exactly like line by line what we needed, I don't know what we would have done without the website now at this point. It handles all of that for us, all of the back end. It uploads the images over to our Dropbox, all of the JSON data over to our GitHub, and it handles all of it. And people don't have to wait, like Firecat said, sometimes up to 3 days for us to get back to them, because we were just either trying to fix things with the world or having to deal with our real lives and just couldn't get to tickets that day, things like that. We got there. Yeah.
Yep. Got there.
Like I said,
And
we're over six.
Also,
We're over 650 bars right now.
yeah.
That have been created, and I would say that the majority of them are still in operation. There are some that have gone, they've gone dark, and such is life. Some will come, some will go. But
and not to
there
mention,
are a lot of them.
There can't be any good without the bad. Everyone knows this. So, I mean, I can personally say I've had a hand in a few bars where they ended up having so many problems internally that they ended up splitting. But here's the thing: there was a good that came out of that. They ended up adding another bar, making a whole new community, adding more attention to Sunset. So even though, yes, it made it bad, it also brought good with it. So it's always a balance. And I'm going to refer something to a very much an Asian culture here. It's very much a yin yang. It very much always has that balance.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Okay. And sorry for jumping over you, Riney.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
No,
it's all good.
We all like talking.
So
I think that pretty much covers me, too.
Between Linnie and Ringy, over the times you've been running this whole, this entire world in your service as well, what have been some of your favorite moments within the communities you've worked with or you've ran yourself?
Oh goodness.
I'll never forget Valentine's Day.
I was going to say, most notably for you guys would probably be the very first time with Azuki's Monster Bar with the security system. That was probably one of the best notable ones.
That was a strong
that. Let me see.
I have a lot of good examples. We have the memory vault here, and these are some of the oldest photos that have ever been taken inside of Sunset. And we have the Halloween party. We have actually, even funny enough, the Argus team for Project Aincrad that VRChat was talking about, they've had some of their meetings here in Sunset. We literally have screenshots that they posted. And in fact, I was asked if it was okay if they could post those inside of. Right. And I was asked if it was Savvy asked me if it was okay to post some of those screenshots in their VCAT booth and stuff, and I'm like, are you telling me that my world project, even if seen by just one person, is going to be in a VCAT world? Like, that's crazy.
That's surreal to think about it.
That's a weird thought. Now I just actually need to pay for a booth one of these days and get it in there, but
you totally should.
With time. I want to engage with the project community, with VMarket.
As someone who's done that, you should.
Yes. So
I mean, nowadays you guys are making well enough. Do you run these types of events with VCAT and what was that other one?
PJKT.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was sad when I saw their world, and I'm like, wait a second, they're doing booths for free. Like, let me get in. And I'm like, oh, the cutoff it's over.
It just happened. Quanta Networks actually got into the VCAT, so I was kind of upset that Sunset didn't.
I've just been busy with the tail end of the year, but in terms of fondest memories, because we are jumping into tangents. Obviously there was the moment that I was getting emotional about. That one's just burned into my memory. I will never forget that moment. The feeling inside of me just swelling up, and just I was fighting tears coming in the door, because all of these people, I knew them by proxy with what I'd done, but none of them knew me. I was just another person, but now I had this opportunity to give them something that, we're here to change lives, baby, and lives were changed that day. If it wasn't for them and their efforts bringing their clientele here, I don't know if Sunset ever would have gotten popular. I don't know if people would have ever noticed us ever again. Because a lot of worlds, if coming out of community labs, they don't immediately get some sort of popularity, they'll have some good bumps, but a lot of them the numbers will start to drop and decay, and it just fades to obscurity. And I can say without a shred of doubt, we had Spookality, for example. almost every single one of those worlds were getting decent foot traffic back when the Spookality playlist was being advertised. I favored a lot of those worlds, and they're all 0 population, and it's only been 3 months. Or 2 months even, because Spookality, that playlist was dropped at the end of October. So we've had November and December, and I wish it wasn't that way. It's VRChat is a healthy community that anybody can create content, but there is a sea of content, and that makes it so difficult.
A lot of worlds get lost, and it's really sad. People pour their heart, their energy into it, a world that they made. They get so prideful of it just to see that it hits 0 on a daily. And I know this all too well, especially since mine is one of those few worlds that have fell into obscurity. But then again, it was also not very optimized. It had its flaws, and well, it wasn't complete, but there was a functional port. There was actually a functional spot in the entire world where people could go and hang out with it. But honestly, I lost that file to corruption, so I restarted it. And thankfully, because now of the succession of the Sunset Bar, I was able to learn more about Blender under the wing of Lingie. And I've learned a lot of new tricks, which is awesome, because now I can actually revisit my world that fell into obscurity and I lost and restart over. And I'm so happy that I've actually made so much more progression in less time than I did when I was doing it in Unity. But now I also have a lot more experience than I used to have back then. So it's awesome.
Another good memory that I can remember is New Year's. So this was the first New Year's in VRChat that I did not spend in the NYE world. I felt kind of bad about that, actually. I have a lot of good memories, like the 2022 New Year's Eve world. We were in there all day. That was great. We had a good hangout. If you were there, and there were like 6 of you, the tree. Always remember the tree.
The tree. I remember the tree.
Don't worry about the tree.
2021 was good. 2020 was good. I remember 2019. Like those were good days. But 2023 New Year's Eve, I spent in Sunset, and I remember a lot of us crashing a lot because VRChat's concurrent connected user count was ballooning over 100,000, and they did not have the capacity for it. So, obviously, service interruption is not great, but I'm proud of VRChat. Obviously, hey, you guys hit your peak, and we were feeling it in world. But to me, that was great to feel, because I knew at that time, and I know today even, that Sunset is one of the first places that some people are going to in VRChat. I've met a lot of visitors and a lot of people that some people that are working on the team, some people that are community regulars. The first place they landed was the Sunset Bar. I never thought in all of my days that I would ever create a place that people would find as their first world.
How do you make you feel that, knowing that? How do you feel that also that it's now being utilized as homeworld for hundreds of thousands of people now?
I don't know if it's that high, but
I said hundreds to thousands. Sorry.
Oh, that makes more sense. Yeah, but
I tend to slur a little bit. So listen, we were kind of bar world. We drink chew IRL, so I may or may not be intoxicated cat right now. Who knows?
Meryl
came to the interview.
I won't tell you.
I remember like the celebration that we were holding here that night, and us talking about it, and like realizing on Twitter, it's not that we're getting crashed, it's that VRChat is actually, it just can't pack this many people because there are that many people. And obviously I don't think this year is going to be the same, because VRChat will probably be ready and we'll be watching the numbers this time with anticipation. But Christmas is right around the corner again. The Quest 3S came out. There's going to be another
and
resurgence.
it's cheaper than ever.
Well, I mean, it's the same price as a Quest 2, technically, at the
with the
$299
quality
price
of the
point.
3.
But
That's the thing. It's the quality of the 3 at a cheaper price. So people are gonna buy that as this year's. A lot of people are gonna buy it as a gift this year. So I'm pretty sure we can see an influx on people joining the Sunset as their first world as well. So
yes,
I'm always the person that's firmly believe in expect the unexpected, because if it can happen, it will happen.
Now, I have a few specific examples in my head that I can think of with the people that were like visitors and they found Sunset as their first world. But I'll tell you this, it's too many to count. The number of times I've been approached by, like, at one of the corner booths just hanging out or sitting here at the side of the bar, or if I'm staffing an event. Hey, Lingie, did you know that you were the first, like your world was the first one I ever went to in VRChat? And I've heard it so many times now, but it will never not be refreshing because I've... like,
it's a sense of pride.
Well, yeah, and I don't want to sound too egotistical about it either, but just knowing that I was able to give people at least a decent landing point in their virtual journey, that means the world to me. I never thought I'd ever like experience that, but here we are. And then of course, yeah, we got a lot of fun events. Valentine's Day was goofy and fun. We did St. Patrick's Day. That was fun.
Yeah, St. Patrick's Day was when I was like, yeah, I'm putting in a drink menu system.
It was
Didn't come out right
crazy.
away, but yeah, having to punch in drinks was just a mess. And then trays. Oh my goodness, trays, that was fun.
You know what? Hey, little garnishes when?
Yeah, I'm working on them as soon as January rolls around.
That is it. So for the uninitiated, let me go ahead and just clarify something. This is a little joke that has been floating around the community for a good long while, because we've talked about adding garnishes. It's been well known amongst the community after a while that we were going to add garnishes, but it kind of fell through the cracks. And so pretty much the whole running joke, garnishes when, became a reality.
Before that, it was trays. So, yeah.
Before that, it was trays.
It's going to happen one of these days. It's going to happen one of these days.
We don't know when, but when it does, it does.
Probably January,
as far
honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
but as far as events go, I mean, we're currently running one right now, actually. It's the first time for us, too. It is known as 12 Days of Duskview. So we selected 12 bars in the entire... Sunset, sorry. 12...
Yeah.
God damn it, you threw my
12 Days of Sunset.
12 Days of Sunset. But 12 Days of Sunset, basically, it's a first for us. Basically what it is we selected 12 bars and they were gifted a Patreon tier. And so basically their bar was able to be accessed as a Patreon bar for the first time for the bars that have not ever had the chance or privilege or even could afford it. So we gave to the community 12 Patreon subscriptions for free. And we'd feature each one on our Discord server on an announcement that, hey, we are doing a collab event with this bar today, and this is the bar. Originally, we got the idea in a staff meeting, and we were just randomly talking about Hanukkah, I think, was the way that it came up.
We're like trying to decide what events we were going to host for the rest of the year and see if anybody was interested in hosting them, or if we could try to reach out and collaborate for them. I think
it was like what, back in November?
I think it was November 3rd.
Yeah. And honestly, it was a huge success because we've noticed that. Okay, November 6th. But either way, it was a huge success because we have these bars that were never known, and now they're actually recognized. And
it's never known.
Really comforting. Okay, they're not never known, but they're very small. They're smaller ones, right? I don't know how.
You'd be surprised.
I don't know how that was organized, but I do know is that they feature these bars, and honestly, those bars that are being featured for this month for the 12 Days of Sunset, they've had a massive influx on their own community. So not only are we basically as a community helping out other smaller ones in our bar, we're also helping fuck words.
You know
I'm
what's
sorry,
crazy though,
Future
Firecat?
Lion, I did it again. I'm so sorry.
You know what's
Man,
crazy though?
Future Lion's gonna kill me, I swear, because he's gotta go edit every time I freaking cuss, and it's.
You know what's crazy
Lion,
though?
I'm so sorry to Future Lion.
2 of the bars that were selected who reached out are actually larger than the DCN group currently in VRChat. So
Really?
yes.
Okay, I did not know
Cool.
that.
Well, a question.
Yeah, it's hard. Well,
A question
it's
for
big.
Linny
It's
and
hard to
Ringy
keep track of things.
Here?
Yes.
here for both of you. What are the groups that you know of that you'll be collabing with, and what are some of your favorites that you have running through your world?
I dare not speak of favorites. I
Give us a
will
couple.
not, because if I give anybody props like that, ooh,
Let's not.
It's like the VTuber can't like reveal that they're in a relationship, otherwise the magic is lost. If I reveal a favorite, then the magic is lost.
It's
I can't do
over.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
So I was. Are there some? Possibly. Are we going to acknowledge those? Not today.
my personal ethos is that I want to visit every single bar that I can, and I traditionally do not go back to repeat bars unless there is nothing else open, because I'm always wanting to meet the new bars and poke my head in and see how they're doing. And if I get noticed, then so be it. Then I'm getting swarmed before I've even loaded in, and there's like 4 people beating me up on the street. Okay. If I don't, I walk in, business as usual. I age verify at the gate. I come on in. I do not broadcast who I am. I don't care to. So some days,
It
I
doesn't really
don't
matter.
I don't
People just recognize you.
don't mind the peace and quiet, but
That doesn't last long.
It is what it is. No, it does not. It's a domino effect. As soon as one person knows, then everybody knows. It's like in Payday 2 when you see a question mark go exclamation point, and then the rest of the map goes exclamation points. It's exactly the feeling.
Yeah.
Stealth is over. Mask up when you're ready to start the heist.
Yeah, no, I've seen it firsthand too. It's absolutely hilarious because I was just sitting there in the world. Lingy comes in, just goes, hides casually in a corner, and then all of a sudden, like 4 or 5 minutes later, everyone recognizes he's there and is swarming him.
Yep.
And it's crazy.
It's endearing, and I will never turn people down. I'm one of my other things is that I will never ever, hopefully, I have met people's heroes in VRChat. I have met people's like their role models, the people that they look up to, and I've talked to them on a personal level, and I've tried to talk to others on a personal level. Let's put it that way. And to see people that are surrounded, and I usually turn everybody down when they say it. Like, you need an entourage of people around you so that you don't get swarmed all the time. I don't want to ever do that, because I'm afraid that that person in the middle of that circle of people is jaded and disconnected from the people that actually want to know them and could genuinely be good people that you'd want to connect with in the first place. Yeah, there's trolls. Yeah, there's the people that are making TikTok reactionary content. Yeah, it'd be good to get rid of those, obviously, but at the expense of all of the good-natured people that I'd be able to meet, the people that are so satisfied that they got to say 2 words to the funny John Sunset guy. I'm not going to turn them away. I don't, because I'm afraid that person is going to become so jaded that what's the point? VRChat's a social platform. Let me be social. That's my thought.
Okay.
So,
is it an easy task?
I dare not say favorites. It is not an easy task. The desire to run away, hide in a corner, go behind a locked door, it's always there, obviously. But Some
I've seen it
days
so
it's
many
easier,
times in
some days it's
bars.
harder. But I don't ever want to give, like, I have a lot of lingy that I can give to people. Like, you know, that like that's a way to put it, I suppose. But if I stop giving, then what am I doing? I'm just taking. And that's not the kind of person I am. In friend groups, I was oftentimes looked to as one of, if not the leader of the friend group, and I was always making sure that everybody's doing all right. That I would be the person to sniff out problems and try to rectify them. Two people are having drama in the group. Well, I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to figure it out. Things like that. And, well, I've got that on a bit more of a grand scale nowadays. You know, we try to mediate as many problems as we can between the groups. And, you know, I've tried to bring on as many staff members that are, you know, happy and decent people to be around, and not, like, you know, groveling and just angry at people because, oh, I have to do work, I have to sort through your problems. No, I've always wanted to bring on people that are also like-minded, that, you know, okay, somebody did something stupid, you know, as long as it isn't something unforgivable, like, drop it, let it go, let's move on, let's work towards resolution or something. You know, burying the hatchet is good, because you can get rid of a lot of anxiety and stress, just not having to worry about, oh, well, so and so's in the room, I wonder if they're gonna say something today. Crazy. Like, just, you don't need that in your life. We don't have enough time for that, I feel like. So
Life's too short. I
yeah.
mean,
Enjoy yourself, have a drink, I don't
exactly.
know.
That's
Life's
kind
too
of the
short.
whole point of the sunset.
Enjoy yourself.
Life's
The
just too
sunset
short.
bar.
Enjoy yourself. I mean, it's like the best way to put it, especially since, I mean, yes, life's too short. You only get one. And when it's over, it's over. So, you know what? Make the best of it. And I think that's part of also the reason why the initial motivation for the Sunset Bar, I feel like, became to be. It's to help push that. So, because it should be a place where people come to have fun and just enjoy themselves, not have to deal with the toxicity of worlds, not have to deal with the stupidity of work and coworkers who don't want to listen, and just all kinds of things. So having a place to go to like the Sunset, I honestly think is an absolute wonderful thing, because especially with, there are some communities, they take it to the extreme. And I mean the extreme. They go full balls to the wall with the role play aspect and actually do. And it's actually some of the most phenomenal bars to go to, and why they're so popular is because they take it seriously. Although, yes, there is a balance. You should always realize at the end of the day, this is not really real. But at the same time, the people you are interacting with in this platform are very much real. And
I would give reverence to
oh yeah,
all those people that run security, for instances, at either the front gate or they roam,
a lot of stuff.
and the people that serve drinks behind this very counter. These people are they are impacting other people's lives daily by giving people safe instances to go into, that they quality control people at the gate. Because, yeah, we have the age verification system coming out, and, you know, a lot of us already have it. But
actually, I think all three of us do.
The three of us do, yes. But even then, you're still going to want to quality control your instance. Anybody can get age verification, but are they a decent person because they age verified? Those two do not mean the same thing. So that's never going to go anywhere. And to give a safe, comfortable, and enjoyable experience, those people exist every single day that are running security. And then, of course, like I said, you've got people behind the bar. Some people take it more seriously than others. And you've got genuine people that are trying to pour drinks and listen to stories and
basically what a real bartender does. And I mean, so I can have a first-hand involved on that part, because I used to work for a bar for about a year. And when I wasn't busy in the kitchen, because I was originally a specialty line cook, so my station doesn't get very busy until it's like the specialty hours when we actually have the specials initiating. So when I'm not busy, I'll usually jump up front and actually help out the ladies at the front because they deal with so much. The bartenders are basically the ones that are interacting with these people that are right here. And yeah, they're listening to stories. They're talking to them. This is literally who are going to be like the forefront of basically how your experience is going to be. Yes, there are some bad instances where we are still working out, but unfortunately, the bad is always going to be there. That's unavoidable. And there will be bars, and I know that from here on out, even they're never going to go away. Those bad bars are always going to be here. And those are the ones that we want to provide a catalog for, as we mentioned earlier, where people can look up. And basically, I think there was a new thread that was created on the main Discord for a catalog, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So we will be posting a catalog on our Discord server where people can look up this bar and say, oh, this is a really cool bar. I want to go visit it. And it will have like a genuine, usually these bars are pretty good at like time frames. They're not just like open on a whim. But they can look it up. They can see the experience that we've collected, what they can expect from the bar and whatnot. And it's honestly such a grand idea that Lingie had there on the top of his mind when you started the whole Sunset project, if not mistaken.
Yes.
I mean, that's how the Duskview Association of Duskview Association.
The Duskview Association of Bars. And
thank you.
One day it won't be the Association of Bars, it'll be the Association of Businesses, because like VRChat said, we have other world projects that we want to try tackling. And not all of them are going to feature a bar as the forefront, but we'll enjoy the same like security that Sunset provides, the same granular role permissions, and then some sort of gimmick that Riney will be helping us build.
So I can ultimately say we've been really thinking about the clubbing world a lot recently.
I do have one question though.
Yes, I'll go ahead and continue afterward.
Liney, you guys mentioned a few times security that you guys improved on in order to bring to the groups that run here. What are some of those things you've done and that you offer for those groups for like security services or other permissions they can get?
You want me to, Riney, or you got it?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, so obviously we have built-in world moderation features. This is like the first line of defense. So you can kick people out where it sends them to the street for a time duration. So if you want people to cool off and get out of the atmosphere inside so that everybody else can still enjoy themselves on the inside while not being distracted by like two people having an argument, send them out. You can jail people. It sends them completely out so that they can ponder their mistakes or, go to the next world, which is probably what they're going to do, because that's why most people get into the jail, because they're doing something stupid that they shouldn't be doing.
It also resets their spawn so they can't get out.
Yes. So, I mean, heck, we even just for the this is kind of a more modest security feature. It's not really. It's kind of security. Obviously, a lot of people they still have the default option where if you just run into a portal, you go into it. If you're facing that portal, you can still go backwards through them and not go through them. But a lot of people don't know that you can actually make it so that you actually have to click on a portal to go through it. That's an option in VRChat's options. And that has existed for over a year now, and some people still don't know about it. But for those who have not turned that off, or if they still enjoy that functionality, a lot of people have been able to rejoice, because you cannot drop portals inside the bar here in the Sunset Bar. And for everybody at home, I will explain how that works. Did you know that the Sunset Bar has 923 spawn points?
923 spawn
Every
points.
spawn point.
I'm sorry, what?
Every single spawn point has a 2-meter radial circle around themselves that prevent portals. And in your VRChat scene descriptor that gets uploaded to the world and sets your spawn points, you can set the default spawn logic to first, where it will only send people to the first spawn point in your world, whatever is defined, such as the one we have out on the street. Every other spawn point
That's
is therefore ignored. They simply exist to block portals. So I created a lattice that I copy and pasted throughout the areas of Sunset so that you can only place portals out on the street. It's dirty, but it works. It doesn't cause any performance degradation.
Hey, if it works, it works.
Indeed. It's just a
No,
couple
maybe
of
we'll see if
colliders
we can
that
try to clean it up a little bit.
I mean, it doesn't even run the code unless you're
crude.
trying to place a portal.
Yeah,
it's
it's
crude,
true.
but it's effective.
Crude.
I wish there was actually an implicit function inside of VRChat that allowed you to just block portals inside of areas, but
I think
as
there is. I would have to research it though.
I was told it has something to do with colliders on the water layer, but we weren't able to figure it out.
Huh.
So
Alrighty then.
it might have changed when portals changed. I don't know. So
That is true. Portals did get a change, and honestly, I like these new portal designs. They're a lot better looking than the original ones.
So what have been some of all of your favorite updates to the world since it was posted?
ooh, we have
That's
the
tough.
roof, which is a work in progress. I very much enjoy it up there, and I'm looking forward to supporting it more. It will be my
version 2.
it will be my bounce castle when I'm done with it because I'm an adult and I can put trampolines wherever I want.
Yup.
I
The first one was your experimental one in the freaking dog room was absolutely
Yes.
just random and out of place.
It was fun though. But I mean, there have been little updates every so often that just breathe new life. Like I created that little alcove over there for the pool table, and funny enough, I spent like 2 weeks just chilling out over there because it's like, yeah, I did this. It happened.
And then people were like accusing you of, oh, you rigged the pool table in your favor.
Oh yeah.
I remember that.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I've played a lot of 9-ball. Yeah, there was
It's a
a
good
time
game.
where we had the pool parlor prefab table in the world, and
Oh, that one was
there was
buggy.
I mean, it worked pretty well, but it
For the most part.
we had people that would go to the pool parlor on the regular who were on the top 10 leaderboards coming here because it was a change of pace and it was the same table to play on. And I got to meet quite a few of those people. It was pretty great. And boy howdy, they can play some
They
pool.
can shoot.
Whew.
Yeah, they can shoot. Oh, listen, I play pool IRL, and these people make pool look so much easier that I was like, God, I wonder if they can contend against these actual professionals IRL and actually kick their ass. Because these are some of the best pool players I've seen.
And I see a lot of them actually playing like full body, like not allowing themselves to enter the table with like their hips or their legs
They're
or anything like that.
Straight up,
And
actually just,
using
like, proper. It's
Yes.
crazy.
actually sitting there with like a cue stick IRL just so that you can align your controllers up properly, or like using one of those like mounts for like one of the
gun
gun
stock
mounts
mount?
for and just using those to actually play pool with. Like, hey, why not?
It works. It works. And
I
for some
wish
of those
it
gun
were
mounts, they have
Cool.
magnetic attachments, so I guess it makes it so much easier. But yeah,
Right.
ADHD Bringo Burr. Favorite features.
But
Riney, your turn. Favorite features of updates.
Huh. It's either roof or trays.
The trays. I'd have to say the trays,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, I
They
remember.
made carrying
I-
drinks and service to tables 20 times easier.
yeah,
honestly
yeah,
though, I like everything that comes out. Every time we've got something new to show,
Yeah, that's
it's my
the other
favorite
problem.
update.
Yeah.
Because we're spontaneous. Like something will just randomly
Yeah.
come out. It's like, hey, look at that! I'm putting it on the fridge. Look at that! Look at that! I did this. Mom, are you proud? Crazy.
I had a
I
question
believe
for the
the-
two of you,
Go for it.
but not for VRChat,
I'm
because
not
we
so
already asked.
special anymore.
Well, you've already answered this question. What's the weirdest thing you ever seen in VR?
Oh, yes, I have answered that one, but I'll go ahead and recap anyway when it comes to my turn. You do first,
Weirdest
though.
thing I've
The
ever seen in
weirdest
VR. Ooh.
That's a loaded question.
I don't know what I've seen that I might classify as weird. It'll end up being a person's avatar or something, but I haven't really seen too much weird.
This might classify as weird, but finding somebody that you haven't talked to in over like almost 10 years, showing up in VRChat, saying hello,
That's not really weird. That's actually really cool.
but it's a weird feeling too. It's like, I haven't seen you in so long. How did you find me in the cosmic vastness of this universe and internet? You found me. That's weird. Yeah.
Okay.
I can agree with that statement. And honestly, if I recap back to what I said last time, I don't think I really gave an answer because I said I can't really recall, but there's just so much stuff that could be classified as weird, but I would see normal, and something that I would see normal that you guys would classify as weird. It's that's why I say it's a loaded question.
Yeah.
Well, last couple of questions before you round up. For Lingie and Riney, where did you get your names, and why do you use the avatars that you do? Why do you still use them?
Ooh.
Oh, I'm here to interrupt your current video. Ask you a favor. Down in the description, down that way, is a link, metaversedegen.card.co, which you have a whole bunch of other places. If you wish to continue following us, we have Twitter, which I run for us, which you get updates and other stuff and random thoughts from me. We have a Discord where Raptor, I, and the entire crew and all the other people we know will be over there hanging out. We game there fairly regularly or hang out in there, so feel free to go over that way and come chat with us. We'd love to meet you. We have a Spotify now, surprise. So if you wish to watch it there or listen to it there, it'll be there for you as well. Also we have a Patreon, which we have a whole other show, which we haven't been keeping up with, but we're doing our best. But we have a whole other show there for you as well. We would like to give a huge thanks to some of our supporters over that way, which is Future Oracle, Aliquum, Niche, and Forbidden Zero, all of which we thank you very much for everything, and hopefully we'll see you around and you continue to enjoy the content. Enjoy the current video. Oh boy.
Go ahead, my favorite cat and dog.
So the name game. Riney and I, our very first game on the internet, an old game, StarCraft Brood War. Not StarCraft 2, the original StarCraft. Now, some of you at home may already see where I'm going with this, but there are 3 races in StarCraft, the Terran, the Zerg, and the Protoss. Me, Riney, and our best friend back in the day, which I will reveal his name in a second, just so that I can keep the story alive, each sort of found allegiance to one of the 3 races. I played a lot of Zerg. Their intro unit is the Zergling. The shorthand for Zergling is Ling. Lingie. Riney played Terrans. Their intro unit was the Terran Marine. Marine. Shorthand Reen. Reen-E. Crazy. And then our third friend,
that's a stroke of genius.
literally our third friend decided that instead of going with the basic unit, the Protoss Zealot, he had to go with the air superiority unit, so he just went full bore with the damn carrier. So for a while we had Dark Marine 123, Dark Ling, and Dark Carrier. That was our names because we were edgy teenagers. Edgy teenagers. But then as name changes came up, Riney became Riney, I became Lingie. Our friend has gone by many different names, but they sort of followed the same suit, but they didn't stick with the allegiance to StarCraft like we did, kind of. And I've just been Lingie since I was 15. That was 20 years ago.
Oh.
But yeah. Now avatars. That's a fun story.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give a quick glimpse into the past, real quick, because
Are you pulling out what I think you're pulling out?
OG
Hope he
Lingy.
keeps it in his pants.
OG Lingy, indeed. Holy shit, I have not seen that avatar in a minute.
So when I first started playing VRChat, I met this lovely British couple, and they showed me Film's avatar world, where there was the end model, and I used that avatar for 2 years until Film deleted their world and privated their avatars because they were really peeved with people stealing them. They brought it back like 6 months later, and during that time period, since I didn't have my own custom avatar uploaded, I didn't want to get on VRChat because I felt like a piece of me was missing. Well, they shot shots over at Little Mouse, the person who ran the subcom world, and they had a version of the end model, and I don't know if they stole it or not because it's built off the Len base, but they were accused of it, and Subcom inevitably went down, and they published the archive of all their models. And I thought to myself, well, this is the only opportunity I'm going to ever have to get that avatar. I'm going to yoink that. And I got their unmodified base, which looked just like, indeed, the end base that Film had worked on. So, go figure. This is my personal edit of it. I'm haha stinky wolf boy or whatever you want to say. I literally used this avatar for 4 whole years. And it's got my own personal flair on it. Like I've got my favorite bands of the time when I did my last upload of this. This is a band t-shirt for a group known as The Algorithm. I even have one for like Gojira and the Browning.
Ooh.
Which are awesome, but
all good choices.
Crazy. Yeah. I had a friend who was like, "Lee, you need an update, so you should get on the booth train." So then I was gifted the noise base, and up until and including in the dev screenshots, you will see me in this avatar. It has the same logo on it as with the garage door outside, which that's a fun tangent. That is Lingia Manufacturing, which is my self-insert character in the Duskview City lore, the megacorp that they own, and more of that story will be available in the future for people. But there is actually a group under my account that is Lingia Manufacturing that has kind of a initial breakdown of Duskview lore and where kind of my character sits in it. But I used this for about a year and a half, give or take, and then
roughly.
Most people that knew me prior to VRChat would know that I did in fact self-declare myself as furry, and in VRChat I never used any furry models, and I could not tell you why. And then I saw a public Dira being used, and I'm like, I have got to get that model. So that I was gifted the Dira model because people knew I wanted it. And I created my own, and now I've got, squishable beans, and I give head pats. I don't know.
You don't know, you do.
Yeah, I do.
You've been doing it this whole time to me.
My typical status is the legendary serial head patter because I have ADHD really badly. I do not like my hands being idle, so that's why I talk a lot with my hands. You'll see me being very emotive with them. But if I'm just kind of sitting idle, like inevitably, I'll just be like, pat.
Yup.
Pat.
You know, you got
Suddenly.
me curious. What would happen if you actually ended up with full body tracking?
I do have full body tracking.
You do? How come I've never seen you use it?
I have used it 4 times, but
you got sick.
Then I got sick. I got it basically right before I got sick. And
okay,
then
I do recall that.
For 2 weeks in December, I was just kind of miserable. So, thankfully, 1 week out of sickness. But that's
Now
my journey.
on to moi. Alrighty, so I obviously, I prefer booth models over everything else. And this is just me, you know. Cat ears. I'm catty. Deal with it. Glasses because I like the aesthetic. Purple hair. Mainstay right here. We love purple.
It's a must.
I'm kind of known among some people as that purple cat. I don't know. It's kind of suave. I like it. But then, you know, you probably notice, hey, look at this formal outfit. What's going on here? Well, my girlfriend got it for me for my birthday, so of course I'm gonna wear it. Come on. But
Yeah.
I was gonna say the
Yeah.
outfit's new.
yeah, brand new. This is my first time experiencing it. So things could have gone
Hey,
horribly wrong with the upload.
I get to see it first time for you with you, and so that looks great. I love it.
Yeah. I dig the formal vibe most times in public, and then I've got casual outfits as well. But yeah, I mean, there's not much to it. This is my personal edit. I've done any of the matte caps you see, the eyes specifically with the heterochromia, because again, just to fulfill that cat-like nature. Love heterochromia, and then yeah, I like kit bashing my avatars, which there's going to be that one person out there that's like, no, actually there's 12 now. That's like, you should optimize your avatar. Don't worry, I don't use it in public instances. I have a medium
very
quality.
Familiar.
I have a medium quality. But I digress. Yeah, I do have for the sake of getting the perfect photo, if you will, I'll have an avatar that has like 7 or 8 outfits on it, and I can just swap. The one might have a good coat that works with the other one. This one has an accessory that happens to work. It might clip a little, but hey. This top, these jeans, you name it. I've probably done some kind of combination. I started doing hats too, but yeah. I'm not gonna plug my Twitter. I don't really plug it anymore. If it grows, it grows. But I do like taking photos of my avatar and putting them on Twitter. Met a lot of cool people doing it. We all just love sharing our customizations or things like that. And I originally started the whole Twitter thing because I thought I was going to try to use that to help this world grow. And lo and behold, it wouldn't be that way at all. It didn't need that help. It got help elsewhere. So Avatar thing's a side thing for me. But I do enjoy doing it. The funny thing, though, is I am a world creator first, not an avatar editor. And the amount of people that ask me nonstop, oh my goodness, you know how to use Unity. Can you help me with my avatar?
Oh.
Not again. Not again. Not again.
Yes, if it
Never
isn't
get good at
clear, all
Unity.
3 of us know this pain all too well. Because, I mean, I get that often. Lingy gets it often. Riney gets it more so than me and Lingy.
Nothing's more amusing than when somebody walks up to me and is like, I want that avatar. And I'm like, you can't have it. It's mine,
can't
buddy.
have it.
This is me. I had one guy, this one guy actually said, can I please at least just borrow your avatar? I want my girlfriend to use that. And I'm like, A, that's kind of creepy because you're admitting that I'm hotter than your girlfriend's avatar and you want to. And 2, the quiet part, yeah. I'm not good.
Creepy.
Look, I'm not a therapist or like relationship counselor or anything like that, but no.
Just
no.
Just no.
No, okay, so that's actually the good answer for the weirdest thing that's happened in VRChat. That
Yep,
right
there
there.
you go.
There
you
that
go.
that right there. So yeah, the avatar thing sprung that loose out of my head finally. I said it was going to be an avatar thing. I humbly forgot it was my avatar.
Hey, the world
yeah.
works in mysterious ways.
Yes. Now,
It does.
one final thing though. I have said on multiple occasions, I am actually 3 rusks in a trench coat. Rusk for scale.
Rusk for scale.
So.
Well,
Yes.
I mean, everyone already knows my story, so I'm just going to go ahead and just pass on that unless you guys want me to.
Well,
Please reference back to video
Your call,
titled
Lion. Your call.
oh,
XYZ.
well, we'll have the video in the description for you to find Firecat's episode.
Yeah.
Maybe 2, if you do the Quantum Networks one as well.
Oh, well,
Oh,
with that
my
said,
goodness.
thank you very much
I
for
remember
coming
seeing the
on
QN one.
and
Yeah,
allowing
I
us to meet
appreciate
you.
it very
It's
much.
an absolute blast being able to meet you,
Yeah.
so thank you.
Of course. Thank you for having us. Mhm.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
well, with that said, where can people find you or the world or your communities if they wish to reach out?
So here we are in the Sunset Bar. You'll usually see us on the popular and the I'm blanking on the other playlist. The popular and the active playlists, you know. You'll either be greeted by yeah. Hopefully you're not greeted with hostility at the gate, but I know that it can happen sometimes, especially for visitors, because they're visitor rank. They're probably a client user.
Yeah,
That is
unfortunately,
unfortunately
that's
a
been a
symptom.
big problem. It is, unfortunately, but
You
it
can find us online.
it's moderation.
You can find us online at discord.gg/duskview. That is our official Discord server. You can find us, of course, Riney talked about the Patreon, patreon.com/Patreon if you're interested in some of the perks.
Page what? You want to do that one again?
What? You want to try that
Patreon.
again?
What's that?
Patreon?
You said patreon.com/Patreon.
Oh!
Patreon.
Duskview. Crazy.
Wow.
Oh my
I'm-
goodness.
Blooper
I'm
reel.
hungry.
Yay!
Yeah.
Lingie did it! Also,
of course,
you
you'll
can also
find our-
check out our website, too.
Our website at duskview.city.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, it is mostly available currently as a Patreon resource, but as time goes on, we're hoping to get out resources for all the free bars, as well as VRChat group linking, which is something that I don't know if anybody's done in the past. I know plenty of people
That's a
do
thing.
account linking, but that should be very fun. Of course, we've got our social medias. They are dusty, and there's not much content on them, but we're hoping to change that in 2025. We are rolling out our socials team and such here very, very soon. So
What happened to the media team?
life
Okay, got it.
happens.
Okay, got
they
it.
didn't
That
report
was
back.
more than enough answer for me.
One
It
of
is
them
what it
thinks
is.
They hit John Wick's dog with a car.
Oh, shit.
Rest in peace, media team.
Yep, rest in peace, media team.
An F in chat, if you will.
Yeah.
But
Chat,
yes,
is this real?
and of course, if you visit the Sunset Bar, you might find any of the 3 of us or anybody else out here in Sunset. Don't be afraid to say hi.
Okay.
Hell, don't be afraid to say that you saw us here. You know, that's
Oh.
love to hear it. Love to see it.
I
So,
do want to call something out real quick, by the way. Lion,
Yes.
I'm slightly offended. You skipped out on a question that you normally ask almost every community.
Oh no.
What question is that?
Future plans.
Oh. Yes,
Oh, I have to stay quiet for this.
All right. I'll spill the beans. And I've got plenty of beans. So,
Yeah.
our future plans currently. Of course, we just spoke of the socials department for Duskview City getting kind of a revamp. It's sorely needed. But there are several world projects that inevitably we will be tackling. Firecat spoke a lot of one of our projects.
That's the one I said I wanted to come back to.
Yes. Specifically, it is a world that I'm titling Neon Circle that will be more club focused. But as I said before, with all future world projects, it will involve the bartending system, the security system, the permission system. All of those things will be available, but it will be more of for a group that is more focused on music, either
The clubbing scene.
Yeah. I also want to make something that is akin to FBT Heaven, because I know how beneficial it would be for people to have a secure world to be able to do dancing in. And I'm afraid that while Sunset may be able to accommodate that in the future, I would rather a world that is content gated for that, and specifically exclusive to people that are now signing up for the 18+ system. And then finally, I do have the desire one day to make a hotel and casino for reasons.
Of course, we promise it's not going to be like Just Be. We promise it's not going to be like Just Be. It's going to be our own type of spinoff.
I don't want to do it.
D Club. Just crazy.
What are we starting with? Slots?
Blue please don't do me.
Baccarat?
Here, you know what? That's something we could do. We could open up a casino world. How about that?
We'll have our own blackjack and just blackjack.
Just blackjack. Yeah.
Yeah, just blackjack. Yeah.
No, realistically, we'll appease to everyone. Don't worry, we will appease to everyone. It's just we're having fun, and blackjack's just an easy game.
Well, suffice to say, persistence is out now, and while we could use persistence in this world, it'd be fun to have a world that actually maintained your data and stuff like that. Things that you've done. We've seen Jar put an achievement system in Murder 4, for example. We could put an achievement system here in Sunset. Why not, right?
What would you do?
But pour drinks, spend time. I don't know. It would be difficult.
Next thing I notice, I'm going to see an achievement. Oh, I've got a 1 million drink badge. Oh, jeez.
Crazy.
Yeah, we've totally
until
been
that
taking...
time.
No.
Until that time, we're gonna keep running the community strong. And I say running. Forgive me. Let me rephrase that. We're going to keep guiding the community, because I can say I run it, but at the end of the day, I too am but a cog in the machine. I'm a part of that community, and that community is great. And it's just going to keep growing. I'm going to put my time into it and my effort into it, and so will others. But just as well, I want to celebrate all the other communities that exist because of things like the Sunset Bar, the Midnight Bar, the Curse Mafia Bar, Bar Black, Bar Hein. I don't know if any bars got their start with Black Cat or Great Pug, but these are also core worlds that were technically bars. And a lot of VRChat's history has always been that core worlds have been bars. But
before the Quest launched, it was more primarily focused towards adults with VRChat. And
yes.
Well, Quest.
Until that time, visit us on our Discord, check us out, see if you're interested in the bar community, get involved. If you are already in the bar community and you want to collaborate with us, we literally have in our ticketing section a ticket type just for trying to lay out the groundwork of a collaboration, and so we do. If you reference the calendar that's right beside the stage, all of those events on there, and you'll see one for Blue Rose Garden for Firecat here and Quantum Networks. Mm-hmm. All of these people have reached out and collaborated with us, and if people need our staff to be there, then we can bring staff. We have an event team that's designed to come in and help bartend, security, roaming security, even management if needed. But our goal is not to... My number one ethos with our community is that we don't want our community to be doing things when another community could be that's in the scene. I would love to collaborate with them, but I want to celebrate their achievements, because at the end of the day, like I said, Duskview City is not a bar community. It is a community, and it is the bar communities that use Sunset. So anything I can do to help facilitate that, we're doing it. And we I'd love to give a shout out as well to our experience design crew. This is the people that are working with all of our collaborations and such. And we've got more faces coming on to that too. And hopefully that just means that, more outreach from us to you, to anybody, and you to us. And let's make something happen. Because every night, it's VRChat can be a game, or it can be your social outlet, and so many of us need that. I myself being one of those people. So I will cherish it every single day, and that is that. So
Ooh.
that is our future plans. This is a Denny's. Why are you sitting here? Just get back to work.
Now I'm the comedian out of the two of us, so
It's true.
I mean, I am working right now. I just looked at a message because apparently there was a bar that messaged me. She's like, "Hey, I need a little bit of help." I was like, "Okay, busy right now."
The process is fluid.
Yes. Even though,
But you know what?
even now, I'm currently working doing Duskview City stuff because I'm always watching my phone. We have a channel in our server where we'll approve of image updates and whatnot now, because thanks to our website and the new systems we have in place, it makes things just 20 times easier to basically do our jobs.
I'd wager it's more than 20.
Possibly.
Well, okay, fine, 100% then.
Yeah.
100 times.
Long story short, I'm hoping to bring more social, more bar, more through initiatives that we're running through VRChat. Obviously, more club DJ and music. We have promoted several people now into our performance networking positions that are hoping to bring more live performers to instances. There are a lot of people that actually perform in VRChat, and you'll find a lot of them they'll usually end up at somewhere like open mic night, for example, or something. But
Lox is a hell of a singer. I heard
Lox
him
is a hell
sing,
of a
and he
singer.
was a hell of a singer.
But that said, and I'm not gonna rip on Owlboy, I'm not gonna rip on Spooky Ghost Boo, but I when it comes to the Great Pug and the Black Cat, I never liked their stages. I think they were either an afterthought or I don't know, something. But in my genuine opinion, while I did see people performing on them,
This is based off of the real bar.
right?
That is
But
true.
You could have done some artistic improvements.
These stages in these worlds, which the Black Cat did get better, I feel. I mean, their upstairs stage, if you wanted to stand in front of it, you were standing in a stairwell.
That one was a last minute.
That's an OSHA violation. That's an OSHA violation. Immersion broken.
Here's the thing. I've actually performed on that stage. It definitely is a last minute.
Nice.
It was a last minute one.
But either way, when I first got introduced into VRChat in 2018, I used to see a lot of people performing out in the Pug, for example. And I loved that. I could go in and somebody was playing keyboard or piano or something. Sometimes they were taking requests. Somebody was playing guitar, somebody was singing. There were a lot of really talented people. And I don't think many of those people back in that day are still in VRChat, sadly. They didn't have the right outlet, the right connections, or they were just surrounded by trolls, or kids,
especially
or
with
whatever,
Black Cat.
I suppose.
Black Cat is so full of them that I've seen so many performers go into Black Cat to do their first, to get their name out for the first time, and they're absolutely shut down because the simple fact that there's just so many toxic people in the Black Cat. I can't even touch that world anymore because of how toxic it is half the time.
Yeah, but in tradition, every bar world has also had a stage, and technically the Midnight Bar has a stage that overlooks the round booth in the back.
There's
not my
stage
favorite
there?
stage either. It's technically classified as the stage. But,
I didn't know this. This is the first I'm hearing of this.
even Barheim has a stage. But
I knew
in traditional fashion, even Sunset has a stage. But I have gotten 2 of them. Yes, a lot of people will know that there is one behind the wall here, and one day there's one on the roof too.
3 then. There, 3, 4.
Everything
Jeez.
will be fully
How
accessible.
Many do we have?
and usable in Q1 2025. I hope, unless something crazy happens. But to have been able to get performers and meet performers on this very stage, and then tell me, Lee, this is a decent stage. I just that's heartwarming.
There's 4 of them in this world that I recall now. Now that I actually think about it, there's the Neon Horizon stage, which is one of the newest ones. There's the Horizon stage, which is right here, which was the first one. There's the DJ one in the back in the lounge, and then one of the newer ones, which is the one on the rooftop. So there's a total of 4 in this world. Yeah, there's 4.
So
fair.
I guess actually I should say. What I didn't tell everybody 5. what's no there's not 5, okay. But with what's coming up for Sunset I didn't talk about, and I think that's prudent knowledge for everybody. There is a rough roadmap of us finishing the roof, the Neon Horizon stage, and then we're going to be adding like the drink garnishes, for example. That's like at the very tip top of my list basically. But Sunset is huge.
Audio link in. Well, more like laser
audio
lights
link
for like when DJ events.
Yeah.
No, like laser lights for DJ events.
Sunset is a big world, and I know a lot of people have concerns about that because I'm always talking about adding more to Sunset. And some people like that Sunset is the biggest bar. Some people really dislike that Sunset's the biggest bar. One of the like things that we're going to be working on the interim is being able to customize Sunset so that, and it technically already exists in a sort of way with the barrier system, but when you either open the bar, you're going to have the full bar wizard, which will give you some quick things that you may want to change for your experience, and then just as well for patrons that are paying for the automation. You'll be able to choose where your Sunset bar exists in Sunset. We want to make it so that you can change what happens when you walk through the front door. Do you come into this bar, or does it take you to the rooftop? Does it take you to the club? So you can more quickly and more efficiently direct the traffic flow. You still have the security in place, but then you can get your experience where you want it, and then you're still being able to benefit, as Riney said earlier. Instead of having a second world that might not have any of the population, you do have a unified world that has population and can guarantee that you will have people join your world. And that's basically the biggest promise I can give to people. Sunset Bar is open 24/7. If you open an instance, people will join. Sometimes, some nights it may be really slow, but I mean, the tradition is real. Much like with a Twitch stream, for example, where somebody will raid somebody else with their party of 3, their party of 12, their party of 20. When people shut down their bar for the night, they drop a portal for somebody else, and they're helping out each and every other community as well because everybody's paying it forward. Even. Yes.
I mean,
and people pay it forward, and it's fantastic. But that's the future of Sunset Bar. That's the future of Duskview City Nights. I hope to see everybody there. It's going to be a hell of a journey.
Drinks up.
Well, again, thank you all very much.
Raj, appreciate it.
Thank you, Lion. Thank you, Raptor.
Yeah.
And
likewise, it's always a pleasure being with you guys.
It's good to see you, as always. Well, with that said, this is usually the portion we give the audience member themselves a question and shut it down. I think a good question would be, what is your first world in VRChat when you popped in the first time? Where'd you go? Where'd you end up? We'd love to hear about the tales of your first world and your first times there as well. And as always, Raptor, you know the thing.
You got it, Line. No matter what, folks, when you come into Sunset Bar and you see these three stooges standing around, say hi to them and pat them on the head on the way out. Oh boy, you guys have been back and forth like you wouldn't believe. You remind me of the Three Stooges trying to keep up. It's been nuts.
You know what? Okay, that's
So no matter where you go, or how you see them and everything else like this, say hi to them and everything else like this, and say thank you again. We'll talk to you later. Have a good one, folks.